Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Hell in the Cell review with myself and Jeff Lane. We just watched the pay-per-view. We have some comments to make. I think some of my comments may surprise you, but I'm going to go a little bit more into detail. Jeff, how you doing tonight, bro? Listen, I know, Jeff, listen, disgusting loss for the Bills. And, I'm not saying that to rub it in, Jeff. I'm really not. They had an unbelievable comeback. And then to lose it the way they did in the last couple of minutes, I'm sure that had a damper on your entire day.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like 12:30, 12:45, I think, when the game got over. So, it was before the regular games even started for the day. And when the Bills lose, I don't feel like watching football the rest of the day. So the fact that was on so early and the entire slate of games was still on, I didn't watch any of them. I was just in a bad mood. And then this pay-per-view just added to my bad mood.
Hey, Jeff, let me ask you this. I caught some of the game on the radio, so, I didn't see any of the stream from Yahoo. I'm obviously that was the only way you had to watch the game. How was that? I mean, was it okay? Was there, was it a clear stream? Were there technical difficulties? Was it okay?
It was okay. I don't pay for the Prime internet. I got the second or third option up, so I don't have picture perfect internet, but it wasn't crystal clear the entire time for me. There was some blurriness a little bit. It froze a few times, and it kind of shaky a little bit. So, in my opinion, with my internet anyway, and I don't have piss poor internet by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't see this as the future. I see this as a step back because, it's crystal clear, 720 or 1080 on TV. I don't understand why this is
Jeff, you're right. Jeff, you don't know how many times, I get so bummed out when, bro, like you and me, we always have a good connection most of the time. But I had Ed on last week, and the connection was so piss poor. And, bro, I even went from Google Hangout to Skype, thinking that would help. And I hate when that happens because, there's nothing you could do. You got the interview scheduled. Ed took the time. This is when we're doing it. And then you get that piss poor connection. I freaking hate that,
Yeah. So I guess this was good for people that lived outside Jacksonville and Buffalo markets that wanted to watch the game. But, I don't know if that's really a viable excuse since the other London games have been airing on Fox and CBS for the entire country, at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. So I just don't
Jeff, were I know the other games were televised. Was it the same time? Because my whole thing was it's probably not on TV because it's running into the first games here in America. So, were they always that early?
Yeah, 9:30. It was the same time. Yeah. Okay.
Huh.
Have you? It was the Jets and the Dolphins was one of them, and I think Lions in Atlanta was the other one. And
have you read up on any of the reasoning behind why it wasn't on network?
No, I have no idea, but I would assume it's a money deal.
Okay. Hey, Jeff, before we get into the pay-per-view, I got to tell you this because I was cracking myself up last night. You were nowhere to be around. I usually look for you on Twitter. You weren't on Twitter, so I had to entertain myself. Jeff, you haven't seen the new Jurassic Park yet, have you?
Yeah, I watched it the other night.
Okay, bro. Bro, I'm thinking here, bro. Remember, the last half hour of the movie, the Raptors turn twice. There's the double turn, right? Bro, yeah. I'm sitting here and I'm watching the double turn by the Raptors, and I'm thinking about how wrestling fans react to a double turn or something. And I'm thinking of the director of the movie saying, "No, the Raptors can't turn twice. They can't. That's hot shot in the angle. The Raptors can't turn twice." That's what I'm thinking of, bro. Because I'm thinking of how wrestling fans, you can do this, you can't do that, you can do it. You're hot shotting when something's good. You know what I'm saying, bro? It's absolutely freaking ridiculous. The best part of that movie was almost the double Raptor turn, I think.
You mean you weren't impressed by the picture perfect form of the Raptor when it leaped on the back of the T-Rex, or?
Bro, you know what's the only thing that was ridiculous about that movie, Jeff? That still drives me crazy. Listen, bro, of course we got to suspend our disbelief with freaking dinosaurs. I get all that. There's a couple things I want to talk about this movie. People are going to kill us because they're expecting a review, but Jurassic World was much better. But two things I want to talk about, Jeff. First of all, bro, I sit back when I watch something like this, and I'm so amazed, and I'm like, how did they do that? Like, just how the frig did they do that? You know what I'm saying? I'm so like amazed by how did they create this world? How did they make it look that way? It's unbelievable. But bro, you know, as spectacular as all that is, okay, bro. You know what was the one thing in that movie that drove me crazy?
I'm trying to think. There was a couple moments I was like, yeah, but then I'm also thinking, okay, well, there's dinosaurs, so can I really, you know what I mean?
Well,
like,
I'm with you, but there was one, bro, that there was no excuse for. That drives me crazy.
Refresh my memory because it's not coming to my mind.
All right, bro. Remember the two boys are in the ball and they're getting away. Finally, the big dinosaur comes, kills the ball. They're on foot. They come to the big cliff and the waterfall, and here's the mud. They got to jump in the cliff. So they jump in the water, right, bro? They jump in the waterfall. They swim up. They're happy. They're alive. They go in the gimmick and find the Jeep. Remember?
Yeah.
What's the big brother say to the little brother, bro? Like right after that.
How are we going to start this thing? Or
no, bro. Yeah, that. But, bro, do you still have those matches? Listen, we were just in the water for and bro, like I'm sitting there, I'm watching this. I'm like, could you like have not found the better way for the kid to find matches someplace? I mean, bro, they were just in the water for 30 minutes and the matches are okay.
Yeah. You know what's funny is I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, that was more unbelievable to me than the dinosaurs, bro. To be honest with you.
No, I enjoyed the movie though, man. It was a good movie.
Yeah, bro. I tell you what, I had seen it in the movies. You know, my daughter Andy didn't see it. Bro, it was like freaking $5.99 or $6.99 on HD, and I got the 80-inch TV. So, my daughter goes, oh, when do we ever spend money on a movie like this? So we got it in HD. But, bro, because I spent $6.99 on it, I had to make sure I watched it the next day. So I can justify, okay, I saw it twice for $6.99, bro.
Yeah, I also saw, do you ever get into the Fast and the Furious movies?
Bro, I have not seen any of those.
Well, the seventh one, I finally just saw that one. And Jurassic World is probably more realistic than this movie. Like, I mean, it's so unbelievable. There's so many, like, the dialogue's terrible. The character interaction is cheesy. The timing is completely ridiculous, but it's so entertaining. Like, I still enjoy the movie, even with all the ridiculousness of it. So it's an interesting franchise.
And, bro, and Ron Howard's daughter, Vom.
Oh, yeah.
About it, right?
Yep.
All right, Jeff, let's talk about the pay-per-view. And bro, listen, let's not talk about the warm-up match because I don't even care about that. Don't even talk about that.
All right.
Start at the start of the pay-per-view.
All right, so we start with the U.S. Open Challenge. John Cena comes out. Then, man, I heard Zeb Coulter and Jack Swagger's music hits, and then I'm like, you got to be kidding me, Jack Swagger. That's exactly what I was thinking. Thank God I was wrong. It was just Zeb. Zeb comes out in a little like Walmart cart, that the people ride around in Walmart in. He says we're going to bring in somebody who's going to do more with the U.S. title than you ever did, John Cena. And he calls out Alberto Del Rio, and Del Rio returns and beats Cena clean and is the new U.S. champion.
I'll tell you a couple of things about this. First of all, let me make a couple of things. Let me make clear off the bat. I'm a big fan of Dutch Mantel. I've worked with Dutch for years. I love Dutch. I'm a fan of Del Rio because when I went to Lucha Underground, bro, like I was supposed to interview Morrison, and I'm waiting, and Morrison's not coming. They don't know where Morrison is. Freaking Del Rio steps up and says, I'll do the interview with him. So like on his own, I never met the guy before. He came in and did the interview with me. I was so impressed with I thought this guy was top-notch professional. I liked him right away. I liked his look, bro. I liked everything about him. So I like both of these guys, okay? I like it being Del Rio. I like him winning. But, bro, I do not see the Del Rio Zeb Coulter. Yeah. I do not see that marriage like what whatsoever. I mean, I just don't listen. I'm glad Dutch is working. I really am, but I don't see that. That's the only thing I don't see with this picture.
Yeah, and I mean, I know their characters have had a history, but Del Rio doesn't need a mouthpiece. The guy's awesome on the microphone. Coulter with Swagger made sense because Swagger's not good on the microphone.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't get it either. But I like that he's back.
Yeah.
I like that this was not spoiled. I didn't hear about this anywhere. You know what I mean? This was a surprise to me, which was great. But I like this. With Cena, if the rumors are true and he's going to be away for 2 months or whatever, I like this. I actually like this, and it was pretty. I think it was the only thing I liked in the entire show, to be honest with you.
Okay, fair enough. And I liked it too. Like I said, I don't like the marriage. I'm going to say that straight up. But bro, listen, he's going to help them. I mean, there's no question about that. What's next?
We have the first Hell in a Cell match. This is Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns. It was interesting. The cell wasn't really used as a gimmick, in my opinion. I mean, there was a lot of table bumps and power bombs through tables, and the guys, they put their bodies on the line, and they got real physical. I don't see why this needed to be in a cell. You know what I mean? But that aside, I thought the match was all right. But Roman goes over clean, and I don't. I mean, Bray got his heat back, I guess, at the end of the night with what happened with The Undertaker. But to me, this match didn't do anything for Bray. Like, I thought it would be cool if Dean Ambrose cost Bray the match by doing a Dean Ambrose hologram to get back at him for last year in Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, bro. Ambrose didn't show up at all then, huh?
He was in a backstage segment. Okay. With Roman after the match, but Reigns went over clean, so really nothing there with that.
Well, bro, let me say this, and Jeff, listen, I got to be honest with you, I can't sit here and comment on the action in the match. Jeff, I'm just gonna say this, and people know this about me: they're fake matches. Okay, bro, this ain't MMA. This ain't a Frazier Ali. This ain't Frazier Foreman. These aren't championship boxing matches. These are fake fights. So I can't sit here and comment on fake fights that people all get excited about. Glenn Gilberti commented on Twitter tonight. You know what? I don't remember one of the matches Honky Tonk Man and Jake the Snake Roberts had, but I remember I was very, very entertained by the angle. So I'm not going to sit here and talk about matches. What I'm going to sit here and talk about is this. Listen, Reigns needed to win the match, okay? Bro, with what I saw of Reigns last week on Raw, Reigns gets a clean win here. Hopefully they are back on track with Roman Reigns. Jeff, I got to tell you, I don't know what it is about Roman Reigns, but I like him. I like the guy. I think the reason why I like him is because I think they've absolutely killed this character. And there's a part of me that feels really bad for him because you could tell he's really trying to overcome that. So that's why I'm rooting for him, because everything that has happened in the past is on them. It's not on him. So I knew he needed a win here. He needed a clean win here. I was just like you two, Bray was going to be the scapegoat again. And we got to come to a point where it's Bray's turn and we get Bray over. And actually, they did pay it off at the end with Taker. So they did give Bray a little something. I'm going to talk a little bit about that when we get to that point. But, the fact of the matter is, I just hope they continue to try to rehabilitate Roman Reigns because, bro, the guy does work really, really hard, and none of this is on him. So I'm glad he got a clean win.
Well, and we always talk about on here about a lot of the roster not looking special and looking like everyday people. Well, Roman Reigns looks like a superstar, and he looks larger than life too. You know what I mean? So I think that factors in to his appeal, in my opinion. And I think he's, we were laughing at his promos in January with the horrible verbiage he was given, but now I think he's actually pretty good on the microphone. It seems like he's getting a little bit of free reign. You know what I mean? I think he's doing better.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they could have done the finish. I don't know. I'm probably nitpicking that one. But I would have liked to see Dean Ambrose get revenge from last year. I just thought the story was there to go there. You know what I mean? New Day versus Dudley's. No Xavier Woods because of the being put through the table on Monday. He was injured, not at the show, which was I like that. They followed up on that at least, So what happens is near the end of the match, Bubba Ray gets the trombone in the ring, and then Kofi goes down, pretending that Bubba hit him with it to try to get the ref to DQ him. It was kind of a silly spot. Like the ref was thinking about it. He's going to call for the bell, but then he doesn't do it because he didn't see it, which is the right move. Because if you're going to say a referee can't allow a tag because he doesn't see it, well, how's he going to DQ somebody for something he doesn't see? So I'm glad they didn't go with that finish, but it did bring the drama. The crowd was really into it, so that part worked. So what actually happens was the trombone gets tossed outside the ring, and Big E gets it, and when the ref's not looking, he clobbered Bubba Ray with the trombone, which allowed Kofi to hit some type of spin kick looking thing to Bubba Ray, and New Day retain their titles.
Jeff, you're gonna start seeing a series of events here now as we start going through the matches, and I want to take the time to explain it to people, because, bro, here's the thing: from a wrestling aspect, Jeff, especially on this pay-per-view, they've done it right. What that tells me is, Vince McMahon still knows wrestling. There's a right way and a wrong way to do things in wrestling. He still understands wrestling. What he's out of touch with is the character development, the shades of grade, and the storylines. Because, bro, what you're going to see here now, Jeff, for the rest of the pay-per-view is the people that needed to go over went over. Like, Jeff, they brought in the Dudleys to get New Day over. That's why I knew New Day was going to win this match. They're not going to put the belt on the Dudleys. They want to get New Day over. So, bro, from a wrestling perspective, a pure wrestling, that's the right thing to do. But here's the problem, bro, and you're going to see as we go through every one of these matches. They're getting the right person over in the match. But, Jeff, how many times have you heard me say in the last freaking 6 months, you're not going to get somebody over just because they're winning matches? That's not enough to get them over. So, so from a wrestling point of view, they did the right thing. They got New Day over by winning the match. I think the next match is Charlotte, right?
Yes, Charlotte and Nikki.
Okay, from a wrestling perspective, they did the right thing by putting Charlotte over. But that's the thing, bro. They're going to keep putting her on there at Monday night and let her win matches, thinking that is going to be enough to get her over. It's not enough. There's a whole other side to it. So when we look at from a pure wrestling, who went over, why did they go over, the WWE tonight was dead on. One finish I didn't agree with, and we'll get into. But, New Day goes over. They should have went over. That's why the Dudleys are brought in. But, okay, what happens Monday now? What the Dudleys get a rematch and New Day cheats and wins again. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like that it's not enough. That's not enough for the non-traditional wrestling fans.
So next was Charlotte versus Nikki, and look, I don't know, I don't understand why people watch wrestling. I guess I get confused when people are excited and they call things great matches, and I'm sitting there scratching my head why do you watch this in the first place? Because, listen, a lot of people were calling this Charlotte and Nikki match a great match, and this is what I saw: a sloppy finish. The finish was just ugly, okay? They do this move in the corner that, looked like the fiercest move of the entire evening, looked more fierce than anything that was done in the Hell in the Cell matches. And that's not the finish, okay? You can't do stuff like that and not be the finish. This is why wrestling is you're becoming desensitized to all these moves. So they do this. They try to do this, real creative finish where Nikki goes for the rack attack, and there's a roll up, and she reverses it into the figure 4, into the figure 8, and they were sloppy getting it on. And when Nikki taps, she's actually on her stomach reversed. You know what happens when you reverse a figure 4? You know what I mean? So, but she's tapping reverse. I mean, it was just sloppy. So everybody calling this match brilliant. I mean, I just don't understand it. I really don't.
Let me explain it to you, Jeff. They're calling the match brilliant because they love Charlotte. So, bro, in their mind, this is a brilliant match before it even starts. You know what I'm saying, Jeff? Let's call a spade here. They love Charlotte, and I love Charlotte too. I think Charlotte's great, but I'm like you. Bro, if it's a sloppy match, it's a sloppy match, and I'm going to say it's a sloppy match. But you got these people in their heads. We love Charlotte. Charlotte only puts on great matches. So, bro, no matter what it is, when it's done, it's going to be brilliant. Like the guy in the castle with the squirrel on his head, with Casey Gale over there, who called the match brilliant the other night. It wasn't even average. So that's why you're getting that. But again, bro, another good decision. It's another good win for bro. Listen, the fact that everybody talks about the Bellas and the fact that people bury the Bellas, you know what that means, Jeff? That means that the Bellas are over. Okay, yeah. Nikki and Brie are over. They know how to play their characters. They're beautiful. They're attractive. They're over. They don't need a belt. They're over. So they gave the right victory to Charlotte. But again, here's where, okay, the victory is going to be enough. What is she doing on Monday? And, Jeff, let me tell you this, bro. Looking over the schedule, it looks like the WWE has absolutely lucked out. Bro, I don't think there's any World Series games on Monday. There's not one this Monday, but even if it goes on, the way the schedule falls. But, Jeff, that is so key because I got to tell you something, bro. There is no World Series game on tomorrow. So, you're going to have all of New York and, the tri-state area, out there for the taking. Bro, if they don't have a show tomorrow, balls to the wall, knowing there's no World Series, we're going to get those viewers that we might have lost the last couple of weeks. If they don't blow it out of the water tomorrow, bro, freaking shame on them. And if they come back with all rematches and the finishes are the same, that right there tells you they're not worthy of an audience. So tomorrow, in my opinion, is going to say a lot about the WWE and their creative, knowing that there's no Mets. There's just a Monday Night Football game. We're coming off of a pay-per-view. Bro, if you don't deliver this, you don't deserve anybody to watch.
Yeah, and especially they've gotten into that formula of the Raw after pay-per-view just being a bunch of rematches from the pay-per-view. My favorite part of this match was the half crab that Nikki Bella does where she sits brilliantly.
Yeah.
Rudy's reffing, comes around, he's checking on it like
Rudy
face right in her butt.
I got a nice little text from Rudy today, bro.
Did you?
Yeah, I got a nice text from Mr. Charles. Yes.
Yeah, that cracked me up. But then, dude, after the match, the Paige deal, Paige comes out, Becky comes out, they celebrate. Paige is cheering Charlotte, so you're expecting her to – I don't know what you're expecting at this point, honestly. But, Michael Cole's like, yay, team PCB's back together again. And then that was it.
Is this going to be like, bro, like we're going to tune in tomorrow and this is going to be like how Brie and Nikki were just friends again?
I don't know. We're at the point now where it's either that or we're just going to keep flipping Paige back and forth and tomorrow she'll go back to being a jerk again. But, I don't understand. She cuts that great promo. And then they've totally done a 180 since then with her. I just don't get it.
Well, we'll see tomorrow, bro. Who knows? Maybe they'll prove us wrong.
Yep. All right, Rollins versus Kane was next, and this. You're doing your match for the biggest prize in the business at 9:40 p.m. Who's thinking the title's? I guess we know the title's not changing hands anyway with the way that this match is, but they booked it, but they still put it on at this point. You absolutely knew there was no way in hell Kane was winning the title. This is another thing. I try to point out things that people don't see, that the casual audience sees, and this is why they don't watch wrestling anymore, because it just looks ridiculous. Like, Kane hits Rollins like this, you know what I mean? And Seth Rollins bumps. Why would you bump from that? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, that kind of stuff, it just makes it look phony and doesn't make it look like a fight. And I try to point this stuff out to people. This is what we're talking about. And everybody wants to say that, you're just bitching a bitch and don't watch it and blah, blah, blah. Well, hey, let me tell you something. If it wasn't for this, I wouldn't be watching it, because the show sucks, okay? It absolutely sucks. I watch it because of this, because I believe I give good feedback. People ask to hear my opinions, and when it's good, I'll tell you it's good. But this show is terrible. And I'm going to point stuff out like that, because all these little things combined is what is dropping the audience, because it just looks ridiculous. And to me, that was one of them. You don't bump for getting punched up like this in the jaw. You don't do it. But Rollins goes over clean. Unless I missed some type of, heel cheating. I don't believe I did. But a clean finish, pedigree. Seth Rollins gets the win. Kane is out of power.
Well, again, Jeff, here we are again. I don't remember how many months ago, but remember he beat Dean Ambrose clean after he went on the rampage. I don't need anybody. He beat Ambrose clean the very next day he was kissing Hunter's and Stephanie's backside. Here we are again, bro. So between then and now, they've totally screwed up the story. They've totally killed Seth Rollins. So now we're back to the same point again. Okay, he just beat Kane clean. Now we're at the same point. So, okay, what happens tomorrow, Vince? Does he apologize to Hunter and Stephanie because Kane is no longer the director of authority? Or do we now add a set of balls to Seth Rollins? He just beat Kane by himself, clean. I called it when I did my Wrestling Inc. thing. I said, freaking Rollins needs to beat him clean. End of story. What happens now is, what do they do tomorrow, bro? That's where the freaking writing comes in, Jeff. You're looking at the match and the technicalities of the match, and you're absolutely right, bro. Not these nimrods that are on every wrestling site tonight, laying out these fake matches blow by blow like it's a real MMA fight. The casual audience at home that sees a guy bumping from a little this, they're laughing at wrestling as well. And bro, people could say whatever you want. Jeff, you're nitpicking. You and Vince are bitter. Vince wants his job back, this and that. You know what, bro? Look at the ratings. You can go on and on and on and on all day. Look at the ratings. Period. End of story. Because the majority of the audience that is bye-bye are the Vince Russos and the Jeff Lanes of the world. That's who's gone. And like Jeff said, we're watching this because this is what we do. Okay? But the fact of the matter is, say whatever you want. I'm a jackass. I'm bitter. Whatever you want. Look at the freaking ratings. And like I said, bro, they're at the same exact place tomorrow that they were 6 months ago. Are they going to do the same exact thing? Or tomorrow does Seth Rollins tell Hunter, you know what, bro? Take your authority and shove it straight up your backside. Well, we'll see. We'll see what they do, bro.
Yeah, because, if you're sitting down tomorrow and you're getting ready to write these characters, the first thing that should be going through your mind when you're writing Seth Rollins is he just beat the monster Kane that he's been running from for 3 or 4 weeks. Clean, on his own. This guy should be scared of nobody right now. Yep. Whether it merits it or not, he should be so cocky that he shouldn't be scared of anybody.
Yep.
You know what I mean? There's really no reason to, because he just whooped the monster Kane.
Yep.
So after that, we go to Owens and Ryback, and Owens went over clean. Again, I had an issue with the booking of this match. Maybe I'm just not with it anymore. Maybe I'm the old guy. I've turned into the old guy that's like, oh, back in my day, everything was better. I was saying that about the NFL today. Like, man, all the penalties and stuff. Maybe that's me. Maybe I'm the old guy that just.
Bro, you're the Dana Carvey character, bro.
Yeah. But listen, you look at these two guys in the ring. Okay, if I'm, and trust me, I'm not qualified to be an agent. I'm not a trained wrestler. I wrestled one joke match in my life. It was a gimmick match. I'm not a trained wrestler, so I'm not saying I'm qualified to be an agent. But if I was doing this, and I'm seeing, okay, you're booking Kevin Owens and Ryback, and I'm looking at these two guys, okay? on paper, Ryback should absolutely destroy this guy. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, if Kevin Owens is going to go over, what's a smart way for him to go over? Okay, well, he's got to win with his mind. He's got to be crafty. He's got to pick his spots. He's got to be powdering, slowing down the pace, walking around the ring, trying to drag Ryback in, moving, you know what I mean? The kind of stick and move type and stuff. He needs to have that type of match to beat a guy like Ryback. This match was just a physical, straight-up match, and Kevin Owens dominated him. And I'm looking at this, and I'm like, this just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. Well, Jeff, you don't have to be an agent. You're talking about logic. It's logic 101. Look at these two guys. Okay, you got a freaking monster, and you got Oliver Hardy. Who should win this match? I mean, yeah, you're dead on, bro. It's freaking logic. And here's my thing. I've said this once, and I'm going to say it again. Neither one of these guys are going to ever get over. Okay, ever get over. They're not going to be household names. They're not going to draw ratings, and they're not going to draw people to house shows to come see them wrestle for different reasons. Owens looks like my next door neighbor when he goes outside and cuts the lawn every Sunday morning. That's who Kevin Owens doesn't look like a star, doesn't smell like a star, doesn't act like a star. Now you could be the chicken shit here and run. Honky Tonk Man look like a star. Okay, I'm sorry, Kevin Owens. The Honky Tonk Man, when I flipped around on my TV and the Honky Tonk Man came on my TV set, I stopped to watch this guy. I don't stop. Okay, on the other side of the coin, this Ryback is so freaking one-dimensional. That's all he does, bro. The feed me more. Bro, you talk about grown-ups sitting at home watching the feed me more. People with a brain are saying, give this guy a freaking Big Mac and shut him up already. That's what normal people are saying. Normal people are saying, all right, enough already with the feed me more. But bro, again, that's got to be on the WWE creative because that's all he's got. That's all they've given him. Feed me more. I could have cared less about this match. Neither one of these guys are ever going to draw money in the business. They're never going to draw ratings in the business. And if anybody has a problem with me saying that, tough crap. It is what I know stars when I see them. I've worked with a lot of them. Neither one of these guys are stars. Period. End of story.
So after that is the main event, Undertaker Lesnar, Hell in a Cell. Again, both guys got color, which I was surprised with. But I got Lesnar's done it. He must have the green light. Then Taker, he was busted open. But I had a big problem with the trainer coming in and stopping the match to clean the blood off of Brock Lesnar's face in a Hell in a Cell match. People were giving me crap for saying that. Well, listen, man, they're like, oh, they do it in MMA and blah, 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 blah. Well, in MMA, they're not simulating a hell match in a cell. I mean, let's look at the history of this match. What is this match? Pro wrestling is not MMA. We don't stop the matches to make sure people are okay. They try to injure them further to get the win. So the fact, have you ever seen, ever, go watch every Ric Flair match that he ever bled in, any match where Austin's bleeding, all these guys bleeding all the freaking time. Have you ever seen a trainer go in there and wipe the freaking blood off their face? And yet we're doing it to Brock Lesnar in a Hell in a Cell match. I have a big problem with that.
Why are you putting them in a cell match if you know they're going to bleed? You know that going in. That's what the match is. And Jeff, here's another thing. I mean, you told me yourself. How many weeks ago did you go to the Raw? 3 weeks? 3 weeks ago?
Oh man, now I can't even remember.
3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. And what did you tell me was the crowd?
Families.
Jeff, I got to tell you, this is where I get so confused with them. You didn't have to tell me that for me to know. You can look at any Raw. It's families. It's PG. We've catered to families. We catered to families. Okay, so now the kids are watching every week. Now they want to watch Hell in a Cell. So now they're seeing an absolute bloodbath. Then with the bloodbath, bro, we've got the pink ribbons and the women breast cancer and all the women in the ring who had breast cancer, the survivors. What the F is that? What is this show, bro? I don't know what this is, Jeff. What is this show? We got breast cancer survivors. We got little kids. and we got two guys bleeding like stuffed pigs. Like, what? I don't understand. What is this?
It's a good question. I don't know. I don't understand it.
What happens to the parents now that we're bringing the kids? The kids are into it. We enjoyed it. We can't wait to watch Brock Lesnar and Undertaker. And now the 8 years old and the 10-year-old kids are watching this fight with the parents, and the guys are bleeding like pig. Now what?
You know, I mean, this is totally unrelated, but you know, I don't understand like how parents, they don't get upset about this. But then they get upset about revealing clothing on a woman. You know what I mean? Like, there's blood all over, violence. They would rather them see all this violence than boobs. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't get that either.
I'd definitely rather see a good boob instead of violence. I don't know where you sit on that fence, bro, but come on, for crying out loud.
Oh, absolutely. But that's what I'm saying. I just don't understand for their children point of view. But, you know, I've never, like, the blood looks great. It always looks great. I get it. I'm never a fan of people purposely deforming themselves just to get blood. I'm not a fan of that. I don't believe that.
Self-mutilation is.
Yeah, it's not worth it, man. It's not worth it. But, you know, they do it, and I think it looks great. But anyway, as far as the match goes.
Bro, I got self-mutilated yesterday, but it was in the name of Ralph Cramden. Yeah.
I saw the pictures, man. It looks nice.
You know, I mean, you know, if I'm getting self-mutilated for Ralph Cramden, that's one thing, you know?
But we ended up having a Brock Lesnar win. He hits a low blow, which, you know, it's legal in this match. But, you know, I guess that's what they wanted him to do to, you know, whatever. So the Undertaker protects the Undertaker. He hits a low blow, F5, gets the win. After the match, we got a crowd showing good, nice respect for the Undertaker. Thank you, Taker. Lots of chants. Lights go out. The Wyatt family comes out. I thought it was a cool visual. All four of them, each surrounding the ring up on the apron around the Undertaker. I thought that was kind of cool. Then they start taking him out. And then JBL I wanted to punch him in the face because he's going, leave him alone, like the Undertaker's a little kid. You know what I mean? Like, it's the freaking Undertaker. The announcer sold this horribly. But I thought it was really cool.
Bro, can you imagine back in the day when I'll never forget that. And I'm a you know, aging myself, and I really don't give a crap, bro. Back in the day when Foreman was pummeling Joe Frazier, when he knocked him out like 17 times in 2 rounds, can you imagine Howard Cosell saying, leave him alone, you're gonna, this man has children, leave him alone. Can you imagine how, but that goes right back to what you're saying, bro, what the casual guy sees at home. Why are you telling them to leave him alone? They wanted to kill each other, you know. Jeff.
Anyway, you know, they carried the Undertaker out. Really cool visual, and you know, 99.999% we're gonna have a Team Wyatt versus Team Taker match at Survivor Series. I'm sure that's what they're setting up with that.
Bro, can I? I'm gonna lay out a couple of things you've already said. Can I lay out a totally different finish for you here that would have been beautiful?
Yeah.
On Wrestling Inc., I basically said the same thing as Rollins. Brock needs to beat Taker clean. Jeff, for many reasons, it goes right back to what you said between Owens and Ryback. Brock Lesnar is an animal in the prime of his life. Taker is a 50-year-old man. Sorry, it don't compute. My idea was for like Taker to just take everything Lesnar was dishing out. And like even Lesnar, you know, bro, remember when Creed was shaking his head when Rocky was taking everything? Like, you know, what the? You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing where like Lesnar's giving him everything, and Taker's giving him the old. Come on. Yeah. And even Brock is like, blah, blah, blah. Finally, you know, you have the hope spot, you know, for Taker. Finally, Brock beats him clean. Okay, bro, a strong victory, beats him clean, a guy in his prime, a 50-year-old man. When the match was over, Brock Lesnar shakes Taker's hand. Brock Lesnar leaves the ring. Now, bro, you know, listen, we know wrestling fans like the back of my hand. Taker's in the ring by himself. You know you're going to get the thank you, Taker chance, right? Thank you, Taker, thank you, Taker, thank you, Taker. Can you imagine, bro? if Taker were to sit down in the middle of the ring and starts unlacing his boots, you know what that means, right? Can you tell everybody what that means? Because these Nimrods think they know everything, but they don't know everything. What's that mean, Jeff?
You're talking about hanging up his boots.
Hanging up his boots.
Right.
Can you imagine now if he starts unlacing his boots and the fans are going to react to that, right, bro? Now here come the Wyatts. You know what I'm saying? My God, bro, that is a great story. But the fact that Brock Lesnar low-blowed Taker for them to protect Taker. Why are we protecting Taker? Listen, bro, unless Taker is going to wrestle till he's 70 and it's something we don't know, why are you protecting The Undertaker? Brock Lesnar, especially now with Cena gone, who's close to Lesnar on that roster? There's nobody close. He had to beat Taker convincingly. Taker, really almost being the dead man, the sit up, and Brock like, what the, you know what I'm saying? To finally that would have been such a beautiful scenario. Why we had to end it with the low blow, bro? I don't. This is the only finish. Like I really had a problem with that low blow.
Like, I wonder how they would think, Rollins can beat Kane clean without any protecting Kane in this match, the Monster Kane, but Brock Lesnar can't beat The Undertaker clean. Like,
because of the politics involved. Taker's always been Vince's guy, and I understand that, bro, the locker room leader and all that, I understand. But, bro, the Taker I know would have had no problem losing that way. I don't think. I don't think Taker would have had a problem with that at all. But, that's, Vince protecting Taker. But it's like, bro, Brock Lesnar is the money. Taker had his run. Taker was the money for a very long time. But, then again, they did the thing at the end. They gave Bray something back. But again, bro, what's the question? Okay, what are you doing tomorrow with this? Because, bro, if this is a thing where, okay, now Bray is in an angle with Taker or whatever, or the Wyatt family, and what, bro? We're going to see Taker once every 4 weeks? We're going to do that now? So, again, okay, let's give you the benefit of the doubt. Let's see where you go tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by this just because I see the potential. I think they could do a cool story with this. I think they could do Taker trying to get Kane to join his team. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff they could do with this. I just don't, like you said, I don't want it to be where Taker's only on 1 or 2 Raws before Survivor Series, because that just absolutely kills
I would think, Jeff, I would think it's a no-brainer since he can't be the director of authority. Now Undertaker would go to Kane, which would be a great story if they play it right. If they do it the right way, that could still be a good story. But, again, bro, I think tomorrow is a very, very important night for them. They know the World Series isn't on. They need to capitalize freaking huge smart. Bro, I'm telling you, if Tuesday morning that rating is not up from last Monday, I won't even know what to say at that point. I can't imagine them not getting a higher rating off of this show than they got last. I can't even imagine it, bro. But again, you know what? If they don't deliver, shame on them, bro. It's all on them. Put up or shut up. Let's see what you got now tomorrow night.
The one thing that concerns, well, not the one thing because there's several, but one thing that concerns me is I don't see, who do they have left to face Rollins? You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't see any top names, how we're going to have big heavyweight matches unless we just keep repeating the same things. We got Cena going out now. Del Rio has been the champ in the past, but now he's got the U.S. title. So, he wouldn't even be in the picture now. I just feel like they don't have the star power because they haven't created any. I don't know. I think they're in trouble.
Yeah, unless, bro, they go into that well. Listen, we saw Rollins and Shawn in a face-to-face last week. Did they back up the Brinks truck and make Shawn Michaels an offer he can't refuse? If the plan is to go to Rollins and Hunter, say for argument's sake at WrestleMania, right? Well, does Shawn Michaels make sense for the interim? And do they, they might have to do that. But bro, another interesting thing too that, that I kind of like, but again, bro, when I say I like it, I say I like it thinking, okay, well, yeah, I like this if I'm writing it. You know what I'm saying? Because now with Undertaker, bro, not only do you have Kane, you might also have some kind of an opportunity with Sting.
Yeah.
That's very, very interesting. Bro, it's interesting if they do it the right way. It's not going to be interesting if Sting's on 1 week and then not on for 3. Taker's on for 1 week and not on for 3. That's not going to be interesting. So there's a lot of interesting things they could do right now, bro. But, the problem is, I'm going to be honest. I've lost faith. They're going to have to show me. You put up or shut up. Me and Jeff say this all the time. If it's good, we say it's going to be good. So, you've got some new things to play with here going into tomorrow. If it's an entire night of rematches, what can you say? We'll see.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I just I would be if I could write Raw Monday, I'd be excited sitting down. I feel there's a lot of potential.
I agree with you.
But I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Like you said, I don't have faith. I hope I'm wrong.
We'll give them the benefit of the doubt. We'll see what happens. Well, I'll be watching. Tomorrow after Raw, Jeff and I will be tweeting during Raw. You can follow Jeff at Jeff Lane 22. We'll be tweeting during Raw. Then I go on Wrestle Inc. and we have a post-Raw show. So, hopefully it'll be good and I have something good to talk about. On the brand, VinceRussoBrand.com. This is going out to everybody for free, but you could check out our video podcast. We podcast, every single day. Everything's on video, hours on end of content. Rain Maxon, who's formerly Peyton Banks on TNA, is on tomorrow's show, Vixens Who Rule. Second part of the interview with Shannon Moore will be on The Swerve on Thursday. Then, the show, there's the show that Jeff and I do every week. Jeff, tell them a little bit about Raw, what it was good for that we put up on Tuesdays.
Every Tuesday, we discuss the Attitude Era shows that Vince was head writer for, and we're going through them in order. We do 1 episode a week, so we're not just picking and choosing. We're following from start to finish the entire storylines. We're still very early into the run. We are in the month of WrestleMania 14, so we're not even to Austin winning the title for the first time yet. So if you haven't missed a lot of episodes, we got a ton to go. But what we do is we watch the show and then we come on here and we talk about it. And Vince will give inside information, being the head writer, stuff he remembers, stuff we haven't heard before, and even stuff I like to hear stuff you wish you would have done differently if you were writing it today, or not necessarily wish, but stuff that you would do differently if you were writing it today. So it's a really fun look at the Attitude Era, and the part we're in right now. It was even before Ed Ferrara came on board. So we got a lot of material left to do with the Attitude Era, and it's really fun. It's a great learning experience. I learn a lot watching it every single week, and it really shows you the difference with today's product compared to that era in time.
Yeah. So check us out, and there's a lot of free content there as well. I mean, we give a lot of free content so you could do, see what we do, see how hard we work. We give you your money's worth. And then at that point, you could decide to be a subscriber and get all the other content, that's premium to the brand and premium to the VIPs. So, Jeff, thanks for tonight. We hope you enjoyed this show. And tomorrow, Vixens That Rule, Peyton Banks from TNA. Check it out. We'll see you then.